All right, we back. Scotia Slang. It's been a minute here with my brother Butch Cassidy. So we're back just to put a little something down, touch the people real quick, get a few talks, and we got some things going on around the neighborhood. We have some things going on in the community, the Scotian community. Big Africville weekend, 40th reunion. I was pretty upset that I wasn't able to make it down home for this one. It seems like a lot of people are making the journey back to the homeland. I'm upset that I wasn't able to be involved, included, but it's all good. My brother, uh, my brother Butch said he's not going to be partaking in the festivities this weekend. You know, that's on him. But when was the last time you've been down to Africville, Butch? When was the last time you enjoyed a weekend down there in your life? Yeah. What was the vibe like that you can remember? The last time you were down there, what was it like? Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. As yeah, yeah. Growing up, going down Africville, Africville weekend was always something that you looked forward to. Being a kid, we was the first people down. I can remember being down there before anybody even was down there. As soon as we knew that we were active, we were there. But as a kid, it was fun. We had a good time. Go down there, we go home, we come back, we go home, we back and forth so much. That's why we were all so skinny as kids, all that walking. But yeah, no, and as you got older, it started to get a little, you started to mix in a little more with the crowd instead of just being with the kid crowd. You started to, you just started to feel it out more. And yeah, it starts to take on a different meaning. Then for me, and you move away for a long time, you don't get to be in the atmosphere for a while, you kind of miss it. And you kind of look forward to going every year. And then every year something comes up, you don't make it. So, you know, it is what it is. But I mean, as far as what you were saying, it's hard to. You were saying as you get older, you acquire certain knowledge and certain things need to be addressed. I guess certain questions need to be answered. But I mean, what better place to ask the questions you want to ask? The thing is, I mean, all the elders, most of them aren't around anymore. I'm not going to say there's not any elders around because we still have a few. God bless them. But for the most part, going down there and talking to people now, I mean, we're part of that generation. So I mean, it's almost like it's almost like the it's almost like the church effect. You love church, you love what it represents, you love, the people and the jubilation. But as you get older, the more you know, the more you see things for what they are, the harder it is, I guess, to be happy about it or celebrate it, I guess. This is what you're trying to say? Yeah, but I mean, you want to get to the bottom of things too. Or you could get with some like-minded people. You're probably not the only person that feels that way. You know, if you touch. Okay, but we're kind of we're kind of dancing around the topic right now, though. Let's be a little bit more specific exactly on what it is that you're literally that irritates you about the whole celebration. Hmm. That's a pretty that's pretty good. I mean, essentially you're celebrating the destruction of a neighborhood, but I don't think you're celebrating. I don't think you're celebrating the destruction of the neighborhood. I think you're more celebrating the spirit of the neighborhood. The memory of the neighborhood. I think that's how people. I think that's how people see it. I think people see it as like, didn't it make it's fascinating to see people. You're from Detroit. You're from Africville. People coming from the states, and it fascinated me that people from down home were so widespread. I never knew. I never knew. At a certain point, when I no, go ahead. No, no, go ahead. Well, I was just saying. I wasn't saying nothing. I was just saying as a kid going down there, like as a real young kid when we would go down there, I didn't even really know what we were celebrating. I thought this was Africville. You know what I mean? This is just what I thought Africville was. And then as I got older, I started realizing, okay, Africville was actually a place people live. You know, you start to. I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. That whole exchange back and forth kind of. in the Africville that we know, that wasn't even like close to how big Africville was. I guess a lot of that area up there, the bottom of Fairview, that was all Africville back in the day. I'm not exactly sure, but I will share a little personal thought that growing up, going to Africville, now that I'm thinking about it, I will say that there was a lot of celebrating going on, but there wasn't that much of like a fighting spirit when we were down there. It wasn't like I don't remember any like people getting wild up or you had Eddie was always on the grind, always fighting the good fight. But I feel like we didn't embrace that enough going down there on the weekends. You know, we didn't feel the anger of the people. It's all joy, and the people should be showing that they're still angry because I know the people are still angry. Well, I mean, it's probably some connection there. We all from down home. It's not a big city, right? If there's Yeah, no, it's just that, the end of the day, you probably have family that lived in Africville. It could have been, the direct descendant or, one of your great great grandparents, siblings, or anything. Maybe they put excuse me? Oh, I said maybe some names on the plaque are people that were just, contributors to the community, spend time, members of the church, maybe didn't necessarily live in the community. Some of them names on the community on that plaque I ain't even heard before. I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I always I always wondered about certain names. Like, let me go to a reference photo here, because obviously we know all the names of the families from down home, whether they're from Africville or anywhere else in the city. I'm trying to find a picture of the sundial with the actual names. Like I know most of these names on this plaque, but that first name at the top, I always said I never knew anyone with that name. Alcos. I never met any of them people in my days. I will say. No, no, no. That's something that we know for a fact that there were people that willingly left their homes and gave up a lot. Most of the people willingly gave up their properties and stuff. There's a handful of people that didn't, that fought. Well, of course there was influence. It started, bro. It was like a 20, 30 year process from when they first tried to get them out to when they actually got them out. Of course. Another thing I wanted to know is how did they get the name Africville? That's a fact. I've read the accounts, but I mean, you you went from you went from Campbell Road Settlement to Africville. So I mean, I don't have those numbers in front of me at the moment, but I will let you get a rain check on that. But yeah, some of these names are lost from Africville because I never met anybody with the last name Alcock. Obviously, they lived in Africville. The name's on the plaque. I never met a I never met a Alcock. I never met a Newman. I never met a okay. I never personally. I'm just saying me personally. I never met a Weary. Um, the rest of the names, I know people with the last name Alexander, but I don't. I never met no people from black people from down with the last name Alexander. But not that doesn't necessarily mean they had to be, you know, brothers. Ki- Kilos, Kilo. I never met them. Oh, yeah, Johnson. Yeah, it's a few, but I would like to know what happened to these families, though. These families are far removed. I mean, we know the names of the people you're going to go down there and see now. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah. For sure. Oh yeah. And it does say on the plaque. It says early families. So like they're talking about early. Like Africville started in the 17th century. So they're saying early. These families could have. Because I mean, if you just want to make an example of George Dixon, his family was gone to Nova Scotia by a long time before when he was still a child, essentially in the 1800s. Okay. So what? It must not have spent that much time as the Campbell Road settlement. I read. I go ahead. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking. Yeah. It is likely that several black families lived in the area, earning it the nickname Africville. So because there was a couple of black people, a couple of colored people that were living there, they automatically named it Africville. There's a mix of formerly enslaved people. There was a mix of formerly enslaved people, Maroons, and black refugees from the War of 1812. It, it was a mix. I read in another book that Africville was. I actually read this. I don't know if it's true or not, but I read that. Well, oh, go ahead. Yeah, yeah. But I read in the book Black Ice. The story was that the story is that Africville was land purchased by the British for Jamaican Maroons descendants that were being exiled into Jamaica. This was the story that I heard of how Africville originally started. But yeah, at that point in time, Canada still belonged to the British. Hmm? Oops. But then, and then I read another account because, like I was saying earlier, they first started the movement to try to get the land from the people long before it actually came to fruition in 1968 or 69. They I read an old. I sent you the thing. I read an old interview with a old elder from the neighborhood. This is he was an elder of the neighborhood back in the 1950s when they did the interview with the lady. Or was it? It could have even been earlier than the 50s. Honestly, I wish I could find it again. And she was talking about how they named the neighborhood Africville, how the city bestowed the name on them, and like they didn't even consider themselves Africans, and they don't know why the city would either. And this was out of her own. This was from her own mouth. This is a woman that lived through it. You know what I mean? I sent you that article that time. It it was a very interesting interview. I wish I could find it again. I'm gonna go look for it actually tomorrow. I didn't know that we were gonna get this deep into the talks. I wish I wish I had. I no, not really, but I wish I had some more notes. I could have had my computer open too, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's really like really just because I see a lot of people heading down home this weekend. I wanted to be a part of the festivities, but I wasn't. I wasn't able to make it. So, it just had me thinking like, you know, how come my brother that could make it is not making it? It's not like you said, you can't find it, you can't figure out the direct link to your family to Africville, but you're a direct link. You grew up in Uniac Square. That pretty much that pretty much was the new Africville. Exactly. Exactly. You seen your last name on the plaque. Yeah. Well, things got lost because I mean, there's a little bit of a gap there, right? So we're doing the 40th year anniversary this year, so that means the Africville reunion started in 1983. So now you have like a 15, 16-year gap from when Africville was tore down. to when a 14-year gap when Africville got tore down to when they started doing the reunion, which is really not that long of a time now that you think about it. When I was starting that, I was thinking like there's a big gap, but really that's not a big gap at all. But it would you could ask like what was the vibe at the first couple Africville reunions, that we obviously weren't at and we're too young to remember. What was that vibe? I can start picking the vibe up probably around like 94, you know what I mean, 95. But it's like what was the early vibe like at them reunions? Back when people were still fighting for reparations. Not say they ain't fighting now, but it's not like how it was back then. I can remember the big press conferences at the library, big draws and all this crazy stuff going on back in the day. you know, but like I said, certain people, we didn't have this knowledge. I used to sit down with some. I used to, have relationships with some real people from Africville back when I was young, like Morton Flint. God rest his soul. If I would have knew any of this stuff back when I was young, these are the questions I would have been asking them. For real, for real. But there's you still have elders around that are still around though, guys like, Gary Steed, um, Miss Ross, Mrs. Ross, and there's still old people from the neighborhood, elders that you could talk to. Mr. Carvey's always down there. He's always ready to chop it up with you. These are people that could give you some answers to, where people's minds were, how certain things came to be, how certain pieces of propaganda started to be spread. Well, action. Only thing that's going to work is action, big action, and you need the youth behind it. What should people do that they haven't already been doing? I mean, they took this to. I mean, excuse me, my bad. People are fighting for reparations when they should be fighting to have the land back. So I only think the way you're going to get people to change the language is if you hit them, if you can see, get the knowledge to penetrate first. Okay, you got to give me more, and I need to know more. Oh, The ch- no, that's true. It's not proper terminology. But like I was saying, if you want to get people to change the language, you got the knowledge needs to penetrate them. Because I know what you're talking about, you know. But I mean, this is where obviously you find when you talk to people about certain things, where the conversation can kind of go left because you're telling people to basically unidentify themselves. If you tell somebody they're not black, they take that as if they are offended by that. When you tell somebody you don't want them to call you black, they're looking at you like you're some kind of what do you mean? What do you mean you're not black? But they don't understand what you're trying to say. Well, if people can have pronouns, why can't you say how you want to be addressed? Without a doubt. No doubt. But you, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, you want people to change the language. If you gotta give them the knowledge, they gotta know why. People, most people are sheep. They're just looking for a good reason to follow. I never said everybody's a sheep. I said most people are sheep. That's the only way the world works. Yeah. Yeah. That's just to reach out and touch somebody. That's not a real conversation. It's keeping somebody in your grips. Well, we all living it one day at a time. Everybody's down there enjoying the Africville reunion. I'll be here getting ready to watch this big fight this weekend. Probably gonna stay in. Probably not gonna go out. I don't want to be around big crowds. And I definitely gonna invite a couple people over and make this purchase. I feel like they should be doing live streams at Africville. I should be able to live stream Africville right now all weekend. I want to suggest that next year. People that can't people that can't come should be able to jump on the live stream. And that would be huge. Live streaming next year down at the Africville reunion. That would be huge for us. I was just talking about in general, like the Africville society there to provide a live stream for people that couldn't make it. You know, well, we gotta be kicking our own slang. I'm just talking about like you know what I mean, an overhead view of the place. You can feel the vibe or something. You know, have a little drone going around. Well, you know, maybe next year Scotian Slang has to have a presence in Africville and get out there and talk to people. Uh, is there a much? I got the. I want to get into all this. I got the stream on here and I can't hear no sound. Yeah, like no, I don't. It's like I have it up. I have it up pretty loud because I checked on it a couple times and I'm not hearing no no sound here. There is sound at the beginning. Yeah, like when I'm going through parts of the video, there's like no sound. That's on my end. That most people are street. That's when it works. Okay. But yeah, no, man, I'm not making any. We kept it on the sports talks tonight, but I'm not making, like I was saying earlier before we started the stream, I'm not making any prediction until Friday night. We're gonna go live. Me, Butch, Obi. Hopefully, we may be able to get another couple of guys in there with us, and that's what I'm going to be making my official prediction for the fight. We're going to watch the weigh-in, see what these guys look like, see what kind of energy they're letting off, and then I think I'll be able to make a decision that I can live with. Right now, I'm going with I'm probably picking Crawford if I had to pick right now, but that's not official. We're gonna wait till these weigh-ins Friday. Definitely excited. Good cards, and it's gonna be a good live on Friday. Right now, we just wanted to get in here and get our feet wet a little bit. It's been a while since we've really been on here chopping it up about anything serious, so we just wanted to hit play, let you know that we're back. We're back in the swing of things. We're gonna come with some better stuff, some more content, some more exciting debates. That's what we're all about over here. But I don't mind the live thing. Live is pretty good. Well, it'd be nice to, of course, one or two more people in the mix. Friday is a better vibe. It's more relaxed, and there's going to be a lot to talk about with the weigh-in because I know the weigh-in is going to provide some drama here, and then we get yeah, and we get Ray in here. Somebody we can get their take on talk a little bit more about this Africville, big Africville weekend. See if Ray had made his way down there. Maybe we could get somebody in here that's been down there. You know, get somebody to hop on with us. Anything, man. It's just all about getting out there, keeping being consistent, keeping just always getting out there and talking that stuff. Yeah. So hold on. You're not going to make a prediction. I don't know. I'm going to need a prediction on you on Friday. No, Keith, I'm sorry. So you're going for a draw. That's your prediction. I could see a draw. It's hard though. It's hard because Crawford. No, but I'm saying Crawford and Spence are both in the boxing world. They're both pretty neutral guys. So a lot of these guys got relationships with both of them, and they don't want to go. They know who they're picking, but they don't want to say it. I know Spence is your guy. You talking about you talking about you fighting Kamaru Usman? That's true. What the hell does that got to do with this? Of course not. So hold on. Are you talking about Shakur Stevenson? Well, this is the one we've been waiting for. But he I mean, I've listened at a few different things from Sean Porter. It seemed like he's not giving a straight answer. Okay, so enlighten me, please. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's just the reach. That's a great conversation. Keeping somebody in your grips. Uh, we all did it one day. Um, Cal Brook is picking Crawford. That was our video. That was our video, man. I was trying to see, like, I couldn't get no sound on there. No, Cal Brook is picking Crawford. Surprisingly, I was surprised, or maybe he's just angry. He seemed like he could be kind of angry. He came out swinging against Crawford. Hey, he came out swinging. Hey. I like Cal Brook, man. He's a game fighter. I wish he would. I wish he would have. He messed up when he went up to fight Velasquez. That's what fucked up his career. He bit off more than he could chew. Huh? Who, me? Oh, oh. The villager, the villager translator. He said, I don't know. I don't know, but he should hit up. You need to hit up the super chat if you want to ask questions up in here. You jump. I'm only joking. But I don't know. This guy just made me lose my train of thought. Gennady Golovkin. That was too much for Calgary. It messed up his eye. Of course, it messed up his ability to fight, man. He fired me. I'm not going to be defending myself as good the next fight. Then you go into fight Earl. Did he have a fight between Golovkin and Earl Spence? Oh, that's dangerous, man. It's dangerous when you see what Earl did to him. He got him up out of there. It was a good fight, and Cal Brook showed how good of a fighter he is. I mean, when you look at it now, because we know how good Earl is, we weren't exactly sure at that point. But Cal Brook fought good against Earl Spence until enough was enough, and I felt bad for him the way he took the knee and covered up his eye, man. I felt that. I won't lie to you. You mean you mean against Golovkin? Yeah, but I mean he's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. But he couldn't handle Golovkin's size or strength. It's too much for him. It's like Amir Khan going to fight friggin' what's his name? Canelo. Pity. Pity. Canelo knocked his ass into next friggin' century. Bit off more than he could chew. But he bit off more than he's a brave fighter, boy. Because I won't lie, he had some serious skills. He didn't have a lot of crack, but his skills were serious. But he was too brave. And so you're saying he sold the title when he fought Earl Spence? I'm talking about. I said I didn't say it wasn't a good win for him. It was a great win for him. Nobody really thought any less of Tom Brook after he got that ass whooped by Golovkin. People expected it. He applies he applies crazy pressure. He has a serious southpaw style, man. It's unreal. And the crazy part about it is I've only ever seen him fight the one style. I haven't really seen him change up. And if you hear about guys, they say like he has a lot more he can do that he don't show in the ring, Earl Spence. That's what. Ugh. It has. I'm not saying they hasn't made adjustments in the ring, but I mean his style it pretty much stays the same. He doesn't fight off the back foot. He tries to pressure. Big pressure. Overwhelming. Well, I mean, you got to. He makes adjustments, but he doesn't come out of his shell. He doesn't come out of the type of fighter that he is. He doesn't do things that we ain't never seen before. Like you said, he keeps his hands up. He presses the fighter. He moves forward. He doesn't fight backwards. And yeah, he might throw different. Well, yeah, he's all fundamentals. He may there ain't no, I never said there ain't nothing wrong with that. What I said is that a lot of people that I heard that's trained with him and shit said that he can do a lot more shit in the ring that we have never even seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what I'm trying to say. I've never really seen him bouncing around. I've never seen him be an elusive fighter. I haven't really seen him like fight on the defensive. He keeps to his style of fighting. Well, are they going to want to stand in front of him? That'd be a bad mistake. I think Bud may try to fight him on the inside briefly until he gets until he gets smacked. No, yeah, he's typically an inside fighter, but he doesn't want to fight inside of Earl Spence. The thing with Terrence Crawford is he got a really long reach, but he's not really like for having such a long reach, he can fight really good inside. Usually guys that reach like him fight on the outside, but he don't. But he probably gonna want to fight on the outside against Earl Spence though. Cause yeah. Oh yeah, he mixes it up. He mixes it up. Oh, tell me. What you trying to tell me? He fights on the outside? Well, he mixes it up. He's a dog. But he's not going to want to get into a dog fight with Earl Spence. That's the thing. He. On point? I'm not sure. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, his big fight, he was a replacement, a last minute replacement there. And he come in and he smashed. Yeah, I can't remember who it was though. It was a top ranked fighter though. He was supposed to be fighting on the undercard, yeah. And then he came up that same night. It wasn't even like no training camp or nothing. He was on the undercard, and then the fighter that was supposed to be fighting couldn't fight, and he stepped up. Yeah. No, no. These are good guys. These are good guys. I seen Terrence Crawford get involved in some bullshit. Only thing about Terrence Crawford is he's like I don't want to use the wrong word. He's like he's a real like regular guy. He's not. I don't think he's a self-aware. I'm not saying there's something wrong, but what? No, what I'm saying. You let me finish what I'm saying. I'm saying like he's not as self-aware as Earl Spence. Like you won't see Earl Spence out there fighting with fans and shit like that, arguing with guys like that he sees while he's walking from the tunnel and like see how he's always out there. Like there's some insecurities there. Yeah, you know, to the argument with Derek James, you would never see Earl Spence arguing with Bo Mack. You would never see this. It would never happen. But Kevin Durant get time for everybody. You know, yeah, so so you seen that the confrontation with him and Derek James, yeah? So I'm watching it. So I saw it at first when it first happened, and it was pretty funny to me. I thought he told Terrence Crawford quick, like who the fuck are you talking to? Terrence Crawford just standing around like an idiot. And but then I seen it again the other day, but I seen like the fuller version of it, and that was right before they went into the press conference. That wasn't after the press conference. That was before the press conference. So Bud came up to the press conference knowing that he already been picked. That's why he started talking. I said when they bumped into each other in the hallway there, that was before the press conference. That was right before. So they bumped into each other. Derek James, Tom Crawford off in the hallway. Then they went out there and did the press conference. So when I watched it back, I'm looking at Buddy like, oh, you just got bumped off before, Derek, and after the press conference. I think that's why he's up there sounding so fucking crazy, man. He just got jumped off by Derek James in the hallway. He's up there looking fucking crazy. My bad. Derek James said, "You don't know me." He's like, Derek James said, "Bro, Derek said I'm straight so quick, bro. It was hilarious. It was like looking at somebody talking to their youth, talking to a child. He was looking down at him and everything. And if they would have fought in that, and if they would have fought in that moment, Jerry James would have mopped the floor with Terrence Crawford. I thought it was hilarious. But when I seen the man walk out on the stage after he just got fucked up, that's hilarious. You don't know what be going on backstage at these things. Ugh. I want to know where it's AB been all week. I ain't got no take from AB. If I was AB, what I would do right now, because man, oh man, I tell you something, AB's going to be good at some point. Something's going to happen good for him because he's too much of a personality. If I was AB, I would go get in there now and go fight some MMA guy. I mean, he probably would have a hard time finding an MMA guy to fight him though. Because he just needs a lesson. He just needs a lesson in manners. He got to be just a slightly bit. He needs to be a slightly bit more humble. You got to be AB, but you got to be self-aware. AB can't be talking crazy. But you know what I mean, bro. Um, but he did. He had his own show and shit, but he was just doing the dumbest stuff. He was throwing money in the toilet and shit like that. Like, bro, if that's what you're doing when they put the camera in front of you, you're wild, bro. You're too wild. Well, he ain't as professional as Porter. He needs to be calling out a freaking Conor McGregor or somebody doing his thing. Well, he said he's more. He said he's more cool with Spence. Yeah, yeah. I like AB. I like AB. Cincinnati representing. But that's it, bro. There you go, Tubs. About billions. About billions. About billions. I beat Paulie and I took his girl. But look, man, I think that I think with that, I think we should wrap it up for the evening. Get these get ready for a big night on Friday. Some some real fire predictions. You got anything you want to say? You wasn't putting up the Métis flag. All right, cool man, cool man. No man, we here. I'll share the I'll put the link on Facebook here on Friday so we can get some people on there that want to talk the fights with us. I know we got a few people that probably pop in. They see it on Facebook. They'll click the link for show. That's good, man. Blessed, man. It was a good night. Everybody out there, we love y'all. Peace from Scotia Slang.